Hello, this is Anlineoffline. Welcome back to another casuals quick guide to Call of Duty Mobile. For today's video, we'll be covering the LW3 Tundra. Introduced in the first season of 2024, the Tundra is a bolt-action rifle from Cold War that appeared earlier in Black Ops 1 as the L96A1. Other Accuracy International bolt-actions have appeared in the Infinity Ward games. The Lee Enfield platform was first introduced in the late 1800s. It was replaced for standard infantry by the L1A1 FAL and later SA-80. A 308 variant remained as the L42A1 Sniper, but that too showed its age in the Falkland War. So, the British held a trial for a modern replacement featuring Remington, 6 Hour, H&K, Parker Hale, and newcomer Accuracy International. The latter just wanted someone to test their rifles, but much to their surprise, they won. The problem was, Accuracy International was just 3 guys in a shed at the time, and didn't have the manufacturing for a military contract. AI rented a workshop and somehow made a good impression, but it was all a formality. The inspectors just wanted to ensure they weren't 3 guys in a shed. They later found out, and a contractor was brought on to help. Pylon Industries was well respected in making missiles. Surely making rifles would be easy. Well, the newcomers from AI were snubbed by their Pylon elders, and instructions were not followed. Differences in measurement units and materials led to malfunctions such as misfires and even explosions. Pylon then went bankrupt, and AI was on its own again. If you want something done right, do it yourself. The L96A1 and its chassis system was a success. Sweden wanted some that were modified for colder environments, hence Arctic warfare, and a limited amount were adopted by UK Special Forces as the L118. Eventually, conflict in the Middle East called for more powerful rounds for longer ranges. You could go 50 BMG or go Magnum. The British Sniper System Improvement Program overhauled equipment and adopted a 338 Lapua Alm as the L115. As a testament to its accuracy, the 115 was used in what is now the 5th and 13th longest recorded sniper kills. As for the previous green meanies, many were chopped up and thrown into the ocean. The upgraded AX series was introduced in the 2010s as a multi-caliber platform. The AX was one of a few contestants in the US PSR competition, but fell short against the Remington MSR and later Barrett MRAD. Back to Call of Duty's Tundra. Base damage per shot is high, and with its multipliers, it's a guaranteed one-shot kill anywhere above the legs at any range in 100 HP multiplayer, the same as the DLQ. The fire rate is very similar to that of the base, DLQ, and SPR at 50 rounds per minute. I've seen some confusion about sniper bullet speed, but rest assured, it's hit scan in multiplayer. Moving on to barrel attachments. Rapid fire increases the Tundra's fire rate up to 55 with no penalties. Hammer Forge offers the fastest fire rate at 65 rounds per minute, with minimal downsides. Tiger Team increases the fire rate up to 60 rounds per minute, bullet speed by 20%, and the stomach multiplier to 1.7 times, like the arms and chest, but you lose 1 round per mag. This is mostly redundant for multiplayer unless you're going for wallbangs. The extended barrel boosts your bullet speed by 33%. And lastly, Combat Recon gives you the same bullet speed as the base ZRG and BR. In terms of mobility, the base movement speeds used to be average for a sniper, but have recently been nerfed to below average. With attachments, it can't outsprint most bolt actions. There are quite a few attachments for strafing, but this is still slower than the base PKM at its best. The base ADS speed is tied with the DLQ, ZRG, and Rytec for the slowest in its class, but with its Cold War attachments, it can rival marksman and semi-autos. For weapon swapping, the drop time is faster than most snipers. Base mag size is 5 and can be extended to 7 or 9, with varying effects on ADS and reload speeds. All fast mags except for salvo use a less obstructive reload animation. Reload times are a bit slow compared to some snipers, but reload cancelling is recommended as usual. As for accuracy, the base breath hold time is tied with the HDR for the most at 6 seconds. The Tundra currently has the least idle sway of any sniper. The runner-up, the HDR, is tied in base to the Tundra with either the hammer-forged or combat recon barrels. And unlike its peers, maxing out its ADS speed does not hurt its steadiness due to its Cold War Gunsmith. Flinch is high, but can be somewhat mitigated with its Cold War rear grips. Before the Tundra, I would have suggested adding a signature attachment that gave the Arctic 50 a bolt action mode, but that's no longer necessary. So what are my thoughts on this gun? It's been a while since we had a gun that had an immediate impact on the meta upon its release. I don't snipe consistently, but I agree with many that this is considered the best sniper, and I can see why the devs were scared to give the ZRG its proper gunsmith. Mobile is very Treyarch heavy in gameplay, and it makes sense that Cold War's pre-nerf quickscoping could translate over, but without any of the slow bullet speed. Yes, movement speeds were nerfed, but most quickscopers swapped to melee weapons anyway. One specific stock was nerfed, but that doesn't really matter. When built half decent, the Tundra does almost everything well, with fewer downsides than its rivals. The DLQ is the most used sniper throughout the game's lifecycle, and is the control value for which all bolt actions are compared. And it did get a fire rate buff, but this is a very marginal difference. And the Tundra has barrels that shoot faster, and is just better on paper. The same thing also applies to the Locus with stopping power. The only difference from the DLQ is that the Locus has more mobility attachments, and can reload cancel without inserting a mag. Still, the Tundra is a jack of all trades with a lot going for it. The Koshka is very similar to the DLQ and Locus in stats, with a faster sprint out time, longer breath hold time, and less flinch. But a lot of people aren't fond of the Dragunov scope that completely blocks peripheral vision. And lastly, we have its fellow Cold War sniper, the ZRG. It's dangerous with armor piercer, but if we're just comparing default ammo, it too gets outclassed. I'm usually against giving guns nerfs, but it may be necessary for the Tundra. In Cold War, the Tundra could only one-shot to the stomach with Tiger Team, so as a compromise, reducing the stomach multiplier will demand a little more precision at mid to long range, but still allow for consistent one-shots up close like the Outlaw. If you already use Tiger Team, then nothing will change for you. It is absurd that a sniper can achieve relatively low flinch, so it's only fair to have it match the DLQ and Locus, thus forcing it to respect high impact weapons like LMGs or heavy ARs. And last but not least, give the Tundra the same sprint out time as the HDR and base Rytec, so that you have to slide cancel if you want to quickscope effectively. If you're more of a camper, then this doesn't concern you. With these nerfs, it doesn't change the fact that the Tundra will still be a fast scoping, fast firing, steady sniper, but it's a start for it to be more mindful of a few things other than its small mag. It would also be nice to have other Call of Duty Arctic Warfares appear as Battle Pass blueprints rather than add entirely separate but functionally identical weapons to grind. But hey, that's just my opinion. This has been a Casual's quick guide. Feel free to suggest what weapons you want to see covered next. My name is An, and I'm off.